Cassandra Ellison.
Cassandra Ellison. Let's go on the record in 2023 TR 1061, State of Kansas versus Cassandra Diane Ellison. Brett Sweeney appearing for the state. Miss Ellison appearing in person and pro se. Miss Ellison, do you know you are about 51 minutes late today?
I apologize. I was up at the hospital most of the night with my mother-in-law. She was having chest pains and everything, and
Okay.
my alarm didn't go off.
All right. Thank you for that explanation. You failed to appear November 13th. The warrant issued. Did you get picked up on your warrant?
I was actually I believe I was in custody.
Okay, but did you?
Or no, I came to the jail and I turned myself in for the warrant, and then they gave me a new court date.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you made the 5,000 cash or surety bond?
Yes.
Okay, that must not have made its way to the file. The last one was a $2,500 bond posted August 16th. So your attorney is Darren Patterson. Have you been in touch with your attorney lately?
I have not. I guess I didn't realize that I even had an attorney for traffic.
Well, when you were here August 16th of 2023.
Oh, that's when I was in custody.
Okay, Darren Patterson. Well, let's see. Defendant, no, you were here. Now you appeared by Zoom from the Butler County Jail, but you still appeared.
Yes.
And Darren Patterson was appointed, and you were told to reappear November 13th. And you were not here then. And you'd had no contact with Mr. Patterson then. So you need to get with Mr. Patterson. Call him today.
Okay.
Do you have a pencil?
Yep.
It's 316-322-7700.
322-7700.
Yes. Give him your contact information, where you are and how to reach you by phone. But remember, it's your responsibility to contact him and take care of this case. You're the one that can get put in jail again and those sorts of things. And you're looking at no registration, no insurance, no license. So you need to take care of these. They date back to over a year ago, March 17th of 23.
Okay.
And you've got your bond, you've got your attorney. All you need is your appearance date. And Savannah, when do we want to put her?
May 6th.
May 6th, did you say?
Yes.
You must be back here May 6th, 2024 at 8 a.m.
All right. Is that Zoom or at the courthouse?
That is Zoom, but you can appear at the courthouse as long as you appear. You must appear. Don't disappear on us again.
Okay, ma'am.
Because your bond may be such that you'll be held without one if you show up or don't show up again.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Sweeney?
Your Honor, I guess for what it's worth, she is on bond through AAA bonding, so there's that, but nothing beyond that.
All right, so I will continue that bond. As I say, you have to be back though, or it can be revoked, and you have to call Mr. Patterson. All right, then you may go at this time, Miss Ellison. All right. So, Mr. Reyna Vargas, you are here because you've been charged with speeding 82 and a 70 and operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. This is not your first appearance. That was May 31st, 2023. You were going to apply for diversion, so we set the matter over 3 months to August 23rd, and you failed to appear. So are you going to enter a plea of guilty and proceed to sentencing? Are you going to plead no contest and proceed with sentencing? Or are you going to plead not guilty and set this for trial?
What is for the sentencing?
Say that again, please. I didn't understand.
What is for the sentencing?
Oh, what would you get for sentencing? I don't know. Usually I'll take a recommendation from the state after you're convicted and anything you want to add, and then I'll make the decision. Now, if you want to waive your rights and represent yourself today, you might be able to meet with Mr. Sweeney and he might tell you what he would recommend. I'm not obligated to follow his recommendations, but more than not, I do. So do you want to talk to an attorney or do you want to represent yourself at this point?
Sorry. I represent myself.
All right, do we have a waiver of counsel form there? For the record, Mr. Reyna Vargas, I need to make sure, sir, are you listening to me? I need to make sure for the record that you understand you do have the right to hire an attorney or apply for court appointed, as well as your right to waive an attorney and represent yourself. Do you understand all of those options? Mr. Vargas, are you paying attention to what I'm saying? You seem distracted.
No, I'm paying attention. I'm just trying to process of what I'm like doing.
Oh, okay. Well, if I can help you, let me know. I'll answer any questions.
I just don't understand the whole sentencing part of it because
As you would,
I didn't go to the first one, but they put me into the, what's it called, the jail or whatever that you guys got here, and then I went in there and they bailed me out, and the lady told me all I would had to do was come in and show my appearance and just, you know, she said just plead guilty because that's what happened and then just pay the court.
where was this lady that was giving you this legal advice?
I forgot, I don't remember her name. It was she gave me this little card and her name, I really don't remember her name.
Well, let me give you, I'm sorry, Deputy, who was it?
This card was a bondsman's card.
Okay.
We
All right.
talked to the
Well, I
bondsman.
don't know if that bondsman has a law degree and a license to practice, but I suggest you leave it up to attorneys if you're going to follow legal advice. As I would have told you at your first appearance, the speeding is a scheduled fine, no jail time. And the driving without a license is a B misdemeanor. The worst you could get is 6 months in jail and a fine from a fine up to $1,000. Those are extremes. They're not what we normally see. And probation is almost always granted, but that's about all I can tell you. If you want to proceed on your own behalf today and waive your rights to counsel, like I said, we can see if the prosecutor wants to talk to you and tell you what his recommendations would be. So you can decide if you want to follow that or not, but you don't have to. You certainly can talk to an attorney.
Well, that's just,
Represents you.
yeah, but I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm just trying to like, just really, you know, I guess, figure it all out because I was told two different things.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
were you told something by a lawyer that knew what they were talking about, or were you told something?
Yeah,
by-
she was the one that bailed me out because during that time, she said that during at that time that I got stopped, I was only 17, so I wouldn't be put in jail at that time. So that's why they took me out, and I didn't have to. She said I didn't have to pay the
Well,
$1,000.
sir, there's a reason that attorneys, people giving legal advice have to be licensed attorneys in Kansas. And if it's a crime to be giving legal advice if you're not a licensed attorney. for just this reason. They get things mixed up and you don't know what you're doing. So do you want to talk to a real attorney or not?
Yes.
All right, or can you afford to hire an attorney?
Yes.
All right, who's giving you advice there on the side?
Well, I have,
Nobody.
Okay, well, you keep looking like you're taking advice from someone.
no, it's because I have my girlfriend here with me.
Okay, so you're looking to your girlfriend to help you?
Yeah, because.
How old's your girlfriend?
20.
You're 17, you've got a 20-year-old girlfriend?
No, I'm 18.
Oh, you're 18 now. All right. Well, I think it would be better if you took advice from a licensed attorney than from someone who isn't law trained and knows what they're doing. So you're going to hire an attorney. You've got the money to hire an attorney. Is that what you told me? Is that what you told me, sir?
Yes.
Okay, you don't need to apply for court-appointed attorney then. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, if I give you another court date, this case is so old. You got this ticket on January 23rd of 23. And then you were here May 31st of 23. I don't know why it took you so long to get to court. Then we set it over to August. And like I said, you failed to appear in August and we haven't seen you until today. So you're entitled to an attorney, but you're not entitled to drag this case out indefinitely. Do you understand that? Mr. Reyna Vargas, do you understand?
What does that mean that I can't do that?
It means if I set this over, you better get out there and get your attorney and have your attorney come in. I'm not.
Today?
No, sir, your next court date.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
All right. Hopefully your girlfriend is understanding and can explain what I've said, but not give you legal advice. Let the attorney do that. Do you know what attorney you're going to hire?
I do not, sir. I mean, ma'am.
How long are you going to need to hire this attorney? How much time is it going to take you to get out there and pick an attorney?
Well, depending on my next court date, I mean, how long would I have?
Are you employed, sir?
Yes, I am.
Where do you work?
At the Boys and Girls Club.
The Boys and Girls Club in Wichita?
No, in Hutch. I'm from Hutch.
They're from Hutch? Okay. And do you work 40 hours a week or more?
No, right now I only work 10 hours a week. And
So
I only get
10
paid.
hours a week. And do you have any other income?
No, I do not, ma'am.
Does your girlfriend support you then?
No.
Does she work?
Yes, she works.
Does she share the home with you?
No,
So do you live with someone else?
I live with my parents.
Okay, so you live with your parents, you work 10 hours a week. Any other income?
No, Your Honor.
Well, in the interest of moving this case along, and because I don't think, now maybe your parents will hire you an attorney, maybe your girlfriend can, but I am going to appoint Attorney Darren Patterson to represent you. Now, you do not have to use Mr. Patterson. You can still hire any attorney you wish. But in the event that you don't have an attorney, I want Mr. Patterson to be here at your next hearing. And if you do want to call him, you can do that. His office is right across the street. And in fact, I want you to go over there after court and give him your contact information. So do we have an opening about 15 days out, 2 weeks? Can we put him on a Monday docket in about 2 weeks?
Let me look at the calendar.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we can do the 25th.
Okay, that's March 25th.
Yes.
Mr. Reyna Vargas, you're ordered to be back here March 25th, 2024 at 8 a.m. And you're ordered to go across the street and give Darren Patterson that date and contact information, including your case number. And you better not disappear again for a long stretch. You better not just disappear at all. Make sure that the deputy has your current address.
They do.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Sweeney?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then Mr. Reyna Vargas is excused to go to Mr. Patterson's office and will be in recess.
We have a Nathan 14, starting with an F.
I see that. Thank you. We are on the record in 2022 TR 3405, State of Kansas versus Nathan Eugene 14. Brett Sweeney for the state. Defendant appears in person and pro se on driving while suspended after prior conviction or convictions for the same. This is certainly not your first appearance, sir. That was way back, it looks like October 14th of 2022. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This looks like the 6th case since first appearance. And Darren Patterson was appointed your attorney, I think March of 23. No, he was appointed May 15th of 23. So have you talked to Mr. Patterson?
I have not lately.
Where have you been? You failed to appear in October of 23. Where have you been?
Yeah, I had actually got my court dates mixed up. And I was thinking it was actually a week after. And I contacted Patterson that same day that I missed court.
Okay, but that was in October. Where have you been the last 6, 7 months?
Waiting on this court date. And then
Waiting
I also
on
went,
this court date. You didn't get
yeah,
arrested?
I went to jail also.
Did you change residence, job, anything like that?
Yeah, I moved to a different house in Douglas. I got my new address on this paper that I filled out today.
So have you made this $2,000 cash or surety bond?
Yes,
Did you turn yourself in or did you get arrested?
I got arrested.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, you better get over and talk to Mr. Patterson's office today.
Yes, ma'am, I'll do that as soon as I leave here.
Don't ever change addresses without telling him where you are. Don't ever change phone numbers without telling Mr. Patterson where you are.
I still got the same phone number.
All right. When's the earliest you can fit him in? Actually.
About March 25th,
Okay.
in a couple weeks.
Mr. 14, I'm going to continue that bond that you made with the condition that you go talk to Mr. Patterson or his staff today
Yes, ma'am.
and give them the court date of, did you say March 25th, Ashley?
Yes.
Okay, and you're to be back here March 25th, 2024 at 8 a.m., Mr. 14. Do you
Yes, ma'am.
understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You make sure you are here. You make sure you go talk to Mr. Patterson today. And who drove you to court today?
A friend of mine,
Who?
it's actually my nephew's girlfriend,
What's her name?
Morgan.
Morgan what?
I don't know where the last name is.
She's the girlfriend of your nephew.
Yes,
And what's his name?
his name is Evan Klemser.
Evan what?
Klemser,
How's that spelled?
Klesmer.
Klesner. Okay. And they live in Douglas?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Would you put that in the docket notes that he said he was driven to court today by Morgan, girlfriend of his nephew, Evan, Klesner? Is that right?
Mer.
Mer. Okay. All right. Anything else we need to address, Mr. Sweeney?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. 14, let's go get this taken care of. Let's not keep
Yes,
dragging it out. All right, you can go at this time to Mr. Patterson's office as you are excused and we're in recess.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I have one more, Judge, Ronnie Walker.
We are on the record in 23 TR 2489, State of Kansas versus Ronnie D. Walker Jr. Brett Sweeney for the state. Defendant appears in person and pro se. Mr. Walker was to be here November 1st of 23, but failed to appear. Bench warrant was issued with bond set at 1,000 cash or surety. Mr. Walker, did you make that bond?
Yes.
All right. Well, your charge is one count of operating a motor vehicle on May 31st, 2023, without proof of liability insurance. This is a B, non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, there is a mandatory minimum fine of $300 plus court costs of $108. The court could make you pay as much as $1,000, although that's rare. The court could also give you a sentence up to 6 months, although probation is often the exercised option in that case. You can plead not guilty today and we'll set it for trial. You can plead guilty and we will proceed with sentencing. You can plead no contest. That means you don't admit the charge, but you don't want to plead not guilty and take it to trial. If you want to talk to an attorney before you make a decision, you can hire any attorney of your choice. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply for court appointed. If you qualify, one would be appointed. They are not necessarily free. They are based on your ability, if any, to pay. So, oh, and if I didn't say it, you can waive your right to attorney and represent yourself. So how do you want to proceed, Mr. Walker?
No contest.
Do you want to talk to an attorney first?
No contest. No.
You want to waive your right to an attorney?
Yeah.
You don't want to hire one or apply for court appointed? All right, then if you'd have him deputy sign a waiver of counsel, and Mr. Sweeney, if you would show in the journal entry that he waived his right, and Ashley, if you'd put it on the docket notes. Is anyone making you waive your right to counsel, sir? Okay. Then how do you want to plead to the one count of liability insurance violation?
No contest.
You don't want to admit it, but you don't want to deny it and take it to trial. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you understand that most likely I will accept the plea. You'll be found guilty without trial and you will not be able to appeal your conviction.
Yes, I understand.
All right, Mr. Sweeney, does the state have a basis to support this plea?
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like in the notes section of the ticket, which it's not long formed, it's just filed through the NTA. He was pulled over for speeding 64 and a 55 around the location of 4500 Southeast Bluestem Road. And when he was pulled over, he was unable to provide the deputy with any proof of insurance. And that happened in Butler County on May 31st of 2023. So I think that would suffice for no proof of insurance on a factual basis.
And he hasn't provided any insurance since then, as I understand. Is that right?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, I will find there is a factual basis to support the plea voluntarily and knowingly entered by the defendant of no contest, finding the defendant guilty of the one charge. Mr. Sweeney, any recommendations?
Your Honor, the state would recommend, this is a class B because it's the first time it looks like, states recommend 120 days underlying, 6-month probation. I guess I would defer to the court as to whether that should be reporting versus non-reporting. Standard conditions, obviously, pay the costs and fines associated with the case. State would recommend a $300 fine because I think that's the minimum prescribed by statute. Of course, the court cost And that's really about it, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Walker, you can make any recommendations or comments you want before I determine your sentence, or you don't have to say anything if you don't want. Okay, do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay. All right, I will follow the recommendation that impose the minimum fine required by law of $300, as well as court costs of $108 for a total due of $408. I will order the recommended 120-day suspended jail sentence. You will not have to serve that, Mr. Walker, as long as you are successful on a 6-month non-reporting probation. That 6-month non-reporting probation basically has 2 conditions. Number 1, violate no laws during this 6 months. And number 2, pay the 408. Do you need some time to do that?
Yeah, I'll need a little bit of time.
Okay, how much time do you think you might need?
I think I can do it in 6 weeks. I get paid every 2 weeks and I'll probably take 3 different paychecks.
Okay, I'll give you 60 days to pay. I'll give you 2 months, but make sure you pay as you go so it doesn't just snowball. Pay at the clerk of the district court. Pay in 60 days. If you don't pay in 60 days, that is a violation of your probation. It also could get your driver's license suspended by the Department of Revenue in Topeka. And it could get it turned over to a private collection agent who would come after you with all their methods, such as garnishment and so forth. So do you have any questions, Mr. Walker, about what you need to do to make this case resolve? All right. Anything further, Mr. Sweeney?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Then Mr. Walker is excused and will be in recess.